Awesome. Great. Thank you and welcome to our closing plenary session. And so today we have a great closing speaker and post-conference jam session featuring DJ REB, Ariana Bustani, who is a current undergraduate student at UC Davis. So first, I want to thank our co-sponsors for our conference with Undergraduate Education, Student Affairs, Global Affairs, and the University Library. Thank you all so very much for your continued partnership and collaboration on this conference and ensuring that our students have a platform to be able to show their excellence in undergraduate research and beyond. So thank you to them. Would actually also like to do a land acknowledgement. And so the following that I'm going to share is specifically addressing the land that UC Davis occupies. And I invite all of you to learn more about the native lands that you are living on currently at this time. And we should take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we are gathered. For thousands of years, this land has been home to the Patwin people. Today, there are 3 federally recognized Patwin tribes: the Catchil-Dihi Band of the Winton Indians of the Kuslaw Indian community, the Quechua-Dihi Winton Nation, and the Yochak-Dihi Winton Nation. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries, and it has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through their generations, and we are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional lands. So I invite you to check out that link that Sarah just dropped in the chat and learn more about where you live and what native lands you are on. So without further ado, it is my great honor to introduce Dr. Cynthia Carter Ching, who is the Interim Vice Provost and Dean for Undergraduate Education. Cynthia joined the UE family over the pandemic, so we are looking forward to being back in person in the fall so the team can get to see everybody in person. That is just something that we are all looking forward to, I'm sure. So Dr. Chang, the floor is yours.
Thank you, E. That was a really great introduction. Okay, I'm going to share my screen because I have slides. Here we go. Share. And let's see. What are you seeing? This, there we go. So if I do this, all right.
So we see your presenter mode just now.
And
there you go.
Now the slide. Okay, super. All right. So I'm really honored to have the opportunity to wrap up this year's conference. So by way of closing remarks, I'd like to offer some ideas about undergraduate research, conferences, and who we want to be. So first of all, I want to congratulate all of the student presenters at this year's conference, because it's important to say this. This isn't normal. Each and every one of you really went above and beyond. It would have been so easy and so understandable, this crazy pandemic upside down and backwards year, to just keep your head above water, right? Take classes, work, try not to freak out, just get by, right? But you didn't. You did research, you submitted proposals, you prepared, you presented. That's huge. So take a minute and tell yourself how awesome you are, seriously. And then for faculty and mentors and staff participants, you really went above and beyond too. We all know that teaching is actual workload, but mentoring is extra. And some people might say that this was just really not the year for extra, but you did it anyway. So give yourselves a pat on the back too. All right. So to start off these remarks, I thought I'd do kind of a Harry Potter time turner thing and tell you a little bit about my own past history with undergraduate research. And I've had involvement at both as a faculty member leading a lab and as an undergraduate student. So I know what it means to do both of those things on top of all your responsibilities, right? Like, again, you all are awesome. So flashback 30 years, wow, I know. I went to Irvine for undergrad. And while I was there, I had two totally different experiences in two different professors' labs. When I was a freshman as a bio major, I managed to get a work study job in a genetics lab, which is, what I thought I wanted to do. So it was a really lucky find. But that job was actually a pretty endless slog of wash the glassware, make the media for the petri dishes, take giant carts of everything down to the autoclave to get sterilized, and then do it all over again, right? The smell of latex gloves actually is still a really particular sensory memory for me, and I just can't. But then in my second year, I changed my major to cognitive science, although not because of my hatred of latex gloves. But anyway, I had a professor in Cog Sci in my third year who did research on visual attention, running all these experiments with computer-based prompts. And, it was the early 90s, so the computers looked like this. And I guess he was impressed with me in class or something, so he invited me to join his lab. So from then until graduation, I went from checking in subjects from the Psych 1 pool, right, and just running them through the existing prompts, basically executing studies that somebody else had designed, to eventually working with the grad students and the professor to contribute research questions, modify experiments, analyze the data. It felt real and like my ideas actually mattered in a way that, washing the glassware just didn't. But UC Irvine didn't have an undergraduate research conference back then, so I did never get to present my innovations in visual attention research, alas. But I did get into grad school in learning sciences, which was maybe more the point, so that was good. And then when I got to grad school, I started going to conferences. Small conferences, big conferences, really big conferences. And over the years, both as a student and as a professional scholar, I've noticed some patterns of people at conferences. And so at the end of this year's conference, whether you've been a student or faculty or a staff participant, I want to leave you with some ways of thinking about why we attend conferences, what our roles are at conferences, who we want to meet at conferences, and who we want to be as scholars and professionals, both now and, for students in your future careers. So let me introduce you to the 5 types of people you meet at academic conferences. Type 1, the social butterfly. This person is apparently not too interested in the research being presented at the conference. They're, there to visit long distance colleagues and catch up with old friends from grad school, stuff like that, right? Like you figure they're probably presenting somewhere, but you mostly see these people at happy hours, receptions, and then talking with people in the halls of the conference venues, and then not actually going into sessions when they start. If you know this person, like they're nice, certainly, but, maybe not ideal from like a professional development perspective. Okay. Type 2, the narcissist. This person is focused on the areas of research at the conference, and they want to have all sorts of topic-related conversations, but they don't want to talk about anybody else's research but their own. I've even seen this person use audience Q&A during somebody else's panel to share their own relevant findings on that topic. Keep in mind, this person is not on the panel. They're asking a question during Q&A, right? When they do actually engage with other people's presentations or posters or whatever, it's usually to inform them that they should have cited their publications. Like, really don't be this person. All right, type 3, reviewer 2. Okay, so if you don't know, reviewer 2 is a standard joke in the academic community for the sort of reviewer for like journals and grants and stuff like that, who gives you the most discouraging written review. And it always seems to be the second one for some reason, hence reviewer 2. Okay, so yeah, you have some like insider language, right? Cool. Anyway, this person is very engaged with other people's research at the conference, but their primary mode of engagement is critical, harshly so in some cases. Reviewer 2 typically thinks that they're, upholding rigor in the field or something, but they also kind of seem to enjoy demoralizing people, right? Don't be this person either. Type 4, the mentor. This person is a joy to have at your session or poster or whatever. They're genuinely engaged in other people's work, and their goal seems to be to make helpful suggestions, ask productive questions, encourage the researcher, and just generally help other people be smarter about their work. Sometimes they even invite you for coffee afterwards so they can be even more helpful and talk in depth, right? We should all aspire to be this person. And then finally, type 5, the door opener. This person not only engages deeply with other people in the moment at the conference, they also care about other people's careers and advancement, particularly more junior people. So they will connect your work to other scholars and introduce you. They might invite you to be on their panel proposal for next year's conference. Or they might let you know about a grant opportunity coming up, or mention a book they're editing and ask you to consider submitting a chapter proposal, right? It feels like a gift when you meet these people. And it really is. It's a gift. So for all of you student presenters, today is an opportunity to be grateful for the gift of our Undergraduate Research Center staff for putting on this conference, and to all of our participating faculty and professional scholars, who I know are mentors and door openers, all of them. And as you move forward in your careers, everyone, I hope that you encounter many mentors and door openers, because it's wonderful when that happens. But I also hope that as you move forward, you also become mentors and door openers, because the world needs more of those. So, yeah, I've encountered my share of narcissists and reviewer 2s, but starting with my cognitive science professor in undergrad, and then my advisors in grad school, and many other senior mentors, these people opened so many doors for me throughout my career. I will be paying it forward forever, which is as it should be. So thank you, and congratulations again to everyone.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, thank you. I invite everyone to give either an audible clap or an emoji clap, whichever you feel so inclined to do. Thank you, thank you. Woo! Right. So I do want to take a moment to thank some individuals that have been so important in our conference planning and execution. First and foremost, Cynthia, you have always, since you've joined our UE family, have always been willing to understand what the URC needs and how we can continue to push our mission forward and continue to evolve, not only as a team, but as this special event. So thank you for your support throughout the time that you have been here. And we look forward to continuing to partnership with you and our UE colleagues. So thank you very much. I'd like to publicly thank my URC team, who without them, this would absolutely not be possible. So Annalisa Franz, Dee Clark, Lolita Atkins, Sarah Stinson, Yasmin Hamachi, thank you so much for all of your hard work over the last 5 months. It often means that we are having to put in long hours, late nights and early mornings, but it is so inspirational and motivational to work with a group of people who just get it, who are completely servant leaders to our student population. And regardless of our roles on our team, we are all willing to step up and step in when necessary. And our campus community is better for it. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone on the URC team. And a special thank you to our URC Conference Planning Committee that is made up of campus partners across campus and who volunteer their hours and their time and energy to ensure that our conference has always been top notch. And they have rolled with the punches in the last 2 years in terms of trying to take this conference virtual. And it is their hard work and dedication and innovation and willing to continue to reach to the drawing board that has allowed us to continue this amazing campus tradition, even in the virtual format. And we are so ready for Conference 2022 to hopefully be back in person and really feel that literal buzz in the pavilion when we're doing our poster session. So thank you all to those folks. I would love to obviously thank our student presenters. Without you, we wouldn't have a conference. We just wouldn't have a conference to put on. So thank you to all of our student presenters who, despite an extraordinarily challenging time over the last year, not only with your virtual learning environment, the social unrest that has been happening around the world in our very own country. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your dedication and your commitment to your excellence, to your research, and for trusting us to take this to a virtual platform. And it could not have been done with all of you, without all of you. We had over 500 student presenters this year, and that is to be especially celebrated. To all of our faculty mentors and sponsors, thank you for all of your guidance with our undergraduate scholars and being those mentors, being those door openers and those mentors for our undergraduate students and preparing them to go on and do great things, not only at UC Davis, but beyond, and then planting that seed to then turn it around and pay it forward. So thank you all so, so much. Thank you to all of our volunteers. I see Sharon Lee in the room, and Sharon Lee was a graduate student TA for us last year, loved it so much and said, even though I can't come back in a formal position, I want to volunteer for conference, and it has been great to have you back, Sharon. So thank you so much. I'd like to open it up to anyone to just share any thoughts that they might have. And then we'll kind of move on to the next thing. But I want to open up this space to, I think it's always important to celebrate our community and what we've accomplished. So I'd love to open up this space. Feel free to drop some love in the chat or unmute yourself if you feel so inclined.
I'll take the opportunity to call out E. Thank you for serving as our conference chair this year. I think we've all seen the amazing events, the live and the continuation of Go React. So while you're thanking everyone else, we also want to make sure to thank you. So let's give E also an amazing round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will add to what Annalise said. I think that you did an amazing job, the URC team. It's always such a pleasure to work with you on anything. And I feel like when everyone is so dedicated and passionate about what they do, it makes hard work easy. So thank you for making something that could have been really difficult and stressful actually a lot of fun, because everyone was just so excited to see what the students were going to bring to the event this year. So thanks to everybody for making that fun and easy. And also thank you especially to the undergraduate research ambassadors for all of your hard work. I know that not only do you have midterms and finals and things to deal with, but you added all this extra responsibility to your schedule. So thanks for being awesome and so knowledgeable and professional. I don't know if anyone here was at the faculty student networking event last night, but the URAs that participated were amazing. So congratulations to you.
I will elevate what I'm hearing from UHP students who've been empowered to participate in the conference. You know, a lot of them are really worried about presenting online, about this virtual format. They spend so much time, some of them years, working on their research. And they felt truly empowered, and they felt like, this was a space where even though they couldn't be in person, even though they couldn't engage in dialogue with other students or faculty or staff about their research, I'm hearing them, just say that they are truly grateful, and that this has been a tremendous opportunity. So thank you, E, for leading the URC team through this, and for being such a tremendous resource to our students.
I'll say that I'm just really been sort of blown away by the quality of presentations, right? So in addition to giving the closing remarks, I got assigned to be a moderator for a number of presentations. I went and saw my own students' presentation, and then there were some others in my area of expertise that just sounded so interesting. And I was like, oh, I'll look at these and comment on those too. You all rock. And I know that the URC does this like how to give a good presentation sort of, set of recommendations and training and whatever. I know quite a few career academics, including very large big name scholars, who could use that training also. So you all are great. I was super impressed.
Awesome. Thank you all so much again. And thank you, Cynthia, for spending some of your Saturday with us. Truly, truly appreciate it. And so what we'll do now is I'm going to transition us over to the post-conference jam session. And I am going to drop a link in the chat. And this link, let me grab it really quick, is going to be for our Kudo board. And if you are not familiar with Kudo board, let me see if I can find the link here. Give me 1 second. All right, it is. Okay, so there's the link to the Kudo board. The Kudo board is an online format that allows us to really just hype up each other, allows us to post. You can post comments, you can post photos. If you've taken if you have photos of you doing your research or watching presentations or engaging, this would be great to put on here. And I do have to do a shameless plug for our final award for the URC award season, and that's our Research Rockstars, hence the background. So our Research Rockstars award is due on May 12th. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Dee, but it is May 12th. Thank you. It is May 12th. And since all of our conference presenters have done amazing videos, you all should strongly consider applying for our Research Rockstars, which is a video slam competition that's modeled after the grad slam in the UC system. And so there are first, second, and third prizes. There are cash prizes as well. And there are various categories for research. So please make sure that you consider applying to that by May 12th. So feel free to start dropping the comments in there, and we can go ahead and transition. I'm going to bring up DJ REB's pre-recorded set, and then we will start our official programming with our URAs in about 10 minutes. So thank you all so much. And if you can stay on, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you.